In 1947, scientists researching the yellow fever placed a monkey in the Zika forest in hopes of catching the fever to discover a virus that would later be known as the Zika virus. Similar to the yellow fever, the Zika virus is a virus spread through the bite of an infected Aedes mosquito and, according to a recent study, sexual intercourse. Symptoms of the virus include fever, headaches, rash, muscle and/or joint pain, red eyes, and pain behind the eyes. Although symptoms of the virus can vary greatly, some people may experience all of these symptoms for 2 to 7 days, and many don't even experience the symptoms at all. In fact, according to a Canadian health study, about 1 in 5 people experience illness at all. This makes it extremely dangerous for those who are pregnant, especially because if a pregnant woman is infected, their child is at high risk of being born with birth defects or one of the most common, microcephaly. Microcephaly is the birth defect that makes the child's head a lot smaller in proportion to the rest of his or her body, making the brain small as well. In recent events, scientists don't yet know how, but the virus has made its way to Brazil and has had multiple huge outbreaks. In fact, before the recent events, there have only been 150 cases of microcephaly a year. But since the outbreaks, there have been an estimate of 4,180 in the mere time slot of October 2015 and January 2016. Researcher and scientist Gubio Soares tells Science Daily in an interview, "I think Brazil will have to deal with the Zika virus for a long time." Due to the low immunity of Brazil and the slow improvement in solutions racing at the rapid spread of the infection, this looks to be true. The CDC, or Center for Disease Control and Prevention, has labeled this as a Level 1 status, its highest level of activation, in which there's only been 3 of in the past. These 3 include the 2014 Ebola epidemic, the 2009 H1N1 pandemic or swine flu, and finally after Hurricane Katrina in the year of 2005. Other than Brazil, at one point in 2015, 45 other countries were infected with the Zika virus, and 59 other cases were unconfirmed. Scientists remain desperate for a solution. Recently, Obama asked Congress for $1.9 billion to foreign aid to fight against the Zika virus in ways of mosquito control, programs, vaccine research, education, and improving health care for low-income pregnant women. Congress offers less than Obama's proposal, and Obama refuses to take anything but his original proposal. The Congress has not yet come to a conclusion. Even though there are not any current vaccines available, many possible solutions are being worked on right now. One scientist explains their possible solution.
Well, we're looking at a solution that creates a similar blueprint to the West Nile virus vaccine that injects plasmids into the person's body, enabling it to have the benefit of having a DNA code for that virus's antigen. This gives it the ability, we hope, the ability not to be infectious, which turns the body's autoimmune system on to fight the virus overall.
Another solution is being looked at by a team in the University of Alberta.
Hello, my name is Carlo Montemagno, and I am a scientist and professor at the University of Alberta. We are looking at a handheld test for both Zika and dengue viruses that would enable people to tell without symptoms if you had the disease or not. This would be very useful, even before the symptoms occur, to test whether or not the virus is present. We also have identified a possible protein that may possibly identify solely Zika's presence on its own.
Here is a solution that would cut down the virus from its roots, the mosquitoes themselves.
Yes, so what we're looking at is a way to eradicate the mosquitoes altogether. We are looking at releasing sterilized male insects into the wild in the hope that they would actually kill each other. The male mosquitoes kill each other in competition of fertilizing the female mosquitoes. We believe that all the males would actually end up killing each other, leaving the females' unfertilized eggs unhatched. If this technique was to work, it consequently would leave the mosquitoes decreasing at a steady rate. But there are many flaws, such as the chance that if the males don't fight, we still have to account for what would occur.
There are also different traditional approaches for viruses that are trying to be created as closely to these traditional approaches. These include the measles and chickenpox. Scientists hope that since the symptoms are similar, the vaccine will be too. Although these are very creative ideas, they all have flaws. One big flaw they have is the little time and the little money they have to create their ideas. As bad as that is, they have to compete with the rapid growth of the virus day by day. Overall, the Zika virus is extremely dangerous to pregnant women, and even with all the up-and-coming solutions, it will still be difficult to create. But of course, it is not impossible, especially if Obama gets the money to fund such possible solutions. If you are a pregnant woman or thinking about having a child, try avoiding traveling to countries where recent outbreaks have occurred, such as Brazil. If you're at risk at getting bitten by a mosquito carrying the Zika virus, wear bug spray and fight the bite.